Mr. Davis, have you been able to retain the services of counsel?
No, ma'am.
In a shocking turn of events, KEEFE D, the Tupac murder suspect, finds himself in a desperate situation.
Okay, so I'm going to need to appoint an attorney to represent you today. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
In this video, we will uncover the unbelievable truth behind KEEFE D's financial struggles as he battles to secure legal representation. Stay tuned as we explore the shocking details of his case and the potential consequences he faces. If indeed he has no money for lawyers, this could be goodbye forever. No lawyers. In the world of high-profile criminal cases, having a skilled and experienced attorney by your side is crucial. However, for KEEFE D, the alleged Tupac murder suspect, this essential support seems to be slipping through his fingers due to his dire financial situation. Attorney Ross Goodman, who was initially set to represent KEEFE D, recently confirmed that he is no longer able to do so. The reason? KEEFE D, inability to meet the terms of the agreement. This shocking revelation has left KEEFE D in a state of uncertainty, as he now faces the daunting task of finding legal representation on his own. Financial issues have plagued KEEFE D's ability to secure the services of a lawyer, adding another layer of complexity to an already complex case. Without the necessary funds to hire a defense attorney, KEEFE D finds himself at a significant disadvantage in navigating the legal system. In the past, KEEFE D has relied on the expertise of attorney Ed Fall, a well-known figure in the Los Angeles legal community. However, even Fall acknowledges that the financial challenges KEEFE D is facing may require a different approach. Fall expects that a judge will appoint a representative from the Clark County Special Public Defender Office to handle KEEFE D's case, given his current circumstances. This unexpected turn of events not only adds further uncertainty to KEEFE D's legal journey, but also raises questions about the fairness of the process. Will KEEFE D be able to receive a fair trial without the financial means to secure a lawyer of his choice? The answer remains uncertain. However, this new information has raised concerns about KEEFE D's financial situation. Despite not being part of the A-list, KEEFE D managed to amass an enviable fortune throughout his lifetime. Various online sources estimate his net worth to be around $2.5 million. Now let's uncover the secrets behind his wealth. It all began with the aftermath of Tupac Shakur's murder. Shockingly, it is reported that KEEFE D made a staggering $1 million from the tragic event. This payday laid the groundwork for the remainder of his wealth, setting him on a path to financial success. But how did KEEFE D manage to accumulate such a substantial fortune? Let's explore the sources that contributed to his net worth. One significant source of KEEFE D's wealth was his involvement in the music industry. As a member of the Southside Compton Crips, he had connections to various artists and record labels. It is rumored that he engaged in illicit activities such as drug trafficking and extortion, which allowed him to amass a significant amount of money. KEEFE D's ties to the music industry also provided him with opportunities to invest in lucrative ventures. He reportedly had stakes in record labels and music publishing companies, which generated substantial income over the years. Additionally, KEEFE D was known to have a keen business sense. He ventured into various entrepreneurial endeavors, including nightclubs, restaurants, and real estate. These ventures proved to be highly profitable, contributing to his growing net worth. Furthermore, KEEFE D's involvement in the criminal underworld allowed him to accumulate significant wealth. While we do not condone or glorify illegal activities, it is essential to acknowledge their impact on his financial status. KEEFE D's association with the Southside Compton Crips provided him with access to illicit operations, such as drug trafficking and organized crime. These activities, although illegal, generated substantial profits that contributed to his net worth. It is important to note that KEEFE D's wealth accumulation was not without controversy. His alleged involvement in Tupac Shakur's murder and his connections to criminal activities have raised questions about the ethical implications of his fortune. However, recent interviews with KEEFE D indicates that he may not be so comfortable financially. In an interview with The Art of Dialogue earlier this year, he was seen to ask Diddy for some financial assistance. Shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man. Didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. Shit was laid out smooth, man. Then I met your motherfucking ass. Then all the heat and thunder comes around with your motherfucking ass, man. KEEFE D said during the interview. He continued, adding, "Come on, man. Don't be like that, brother love. I was on top of the world until I met your motherfucking ass, dude. Is wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Sitting up there talking about you, daddy love. Show us some love." KEEFE D claimed that he was once living a life of luxury, with a steady supply of 300 kilos of drugs per month. But everything changed when he crossed paths with Diddy. KEEFE D's claims of living a lavish lifestyle and being on top of the world before his alleged dealings with Diddy have left many stunned. It seems that their encounter brought about a wave of heat and trouble for KEEFE D. The interview with The Art of Dialogue sparked reactions from a lot of rappers and everyone interested in this huge case. Even famous rappers like 50 Cent couldn't help but weigh in on the situation, taking to Instagram to share his reaction to KEEFE D's plea. Mimicking KEEFE D's declaration, 50 Cent captioned the post, "Elmal, brother love, show some love." He even suggested that Diddy could have avoided the public outcry by simply sending a few dollars KEEFE D's way. "Damn, should have just sent this fool a few dollars," the Queens, New York native added. This plea for financial assistance has only added fuel to the speculatory rumors surrounding Diddy's alleged connection to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and his own artist, the notorious Big KEEFE D. Once alleged that Diddy discussed paying the Southside Crips $1 million to murder either Shakur or Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight. According to KEEFE D, Diddy approached him and asked him to take out Tupac and Suge Knight, the record label boss. These claims have been repeated multiple times, and in a recording of an LAPD interview, KEEFE D appears to tell detectives that Diddy called a gangster associate of theirs named Eric Von Zip shortly after Tupac's shooting to inquire about their involvement. Shockingly, KEEFE D alleges that when Diddy learned it was their entourage who shot Tupac, he was happy as hell. In his book, Compton Street Legend, KEEFE D provides chilling details of the alleged conversation with Diddy. He recalls a day in New York when they were out together, eating pastrami sandwiches and drinking pink champagne. Diddy, known then as Puffy or Puff Daddy, reportedly told KEEFE D, "I need to speak to you, big dog." The two stepped aside, and Diddy revealed his intentions. "I have a couple of problems I need to be handled. Big CEO, Suge Knight, and Pac." KEEFE D claims he replied without hesitation, "That's not a problem. We can make that happen." Another key figure, James McDonald, also known as Mob James, a former gangster and security enforcer for Death Row Records. James has confirmed the rumors surrounding Diddy and others putting a price on Suge Knight and Tupac's head. In an exclusive interview, James reveals that during the intense rivalry between Bad Boy Records on the East Coast and Death Row Records on the West Coast, tensions were at an all-time high. He discloses that everyone had a price on their head during that time, as the war between the two record labels escalated. James explains that the situation was so volatile that taking a life or resorting to violence became a matter of course. He states, "At that time, taking a life didn't matter. It didn't matter. Beating a motherfucker's ass didn't matter. Nothing mattered. But we did what we were supposed to do." These revelations shed light on the dangerous environment that surrounded Tupac and Suge Knight during their time in the music industry. The deep-rooted rivalry between Diddy and Tupac, fueled by their association with rival record labels, intensified the animosity. Tupac's decision to join Death Row Records and his public accusations against Diddy and fellow rapper Biggie Smalls only added fuel to the fire. James McDonald, now reformed and dedicated to helping others leave the gang life, provides a first-hand account of the tumultuous era. His confirmation of the rumors about Diddy and others putting a price on Suge and Tupac's head adds another layer of intrigue to this already shocking story. In a recent grand jury held in Las Vegas, witnesses, including former members of the Southside Crips, shed light on the origins of the animosity between Diddy and Tupac. One witness, who used to be a member of the Southside Crips alongside KEEFE D, revealed that the tension began after Tupac joined Death Row Records. According to the witness, Tupac accused Diddy and fellow rapper Biggie Smalls of being behind the attack that left him shot in the past. These witness testimonies corroborate the claims made by KEEFE D and James McDonald, adding credibility to the shocking allegations. The grand jury proceedings aim to determine whether to charge KEEFE D, further emphasizing the significance of these testimonies. The transcripts of the grand jury proceedings reveal the intense atmosphere and the deep-seated rivalry between Diddy and Tupac. How did he get here? KEEFE D's latest interviews about the events of the fateful night of the murder and his confessions on his involvement in the shooting of Tupac Shakur, especially his jaw-dropping interview with Vlad TV, where he spoke in detail about his role in the crime, led to the most recent developments in Tupac's murder. The confession sent law enforcement into action. On September 29th, Las Vegas police made their move, arresting Dwayne Keith "KEEFE D" Davis. The arrest came after a Nevada grand jury indicted him on one count of murder with a deadly weapon. The authorities wasted no time in building a case against KEEFE D, collecting evidence and preparing to bring him to justice. And now, we find ourselves in the midst of the legal battle. KEEFE D has appeared in court, where he pleaded not guilty to the murder charges. The courtroom was filled with tension as the gravity of the situation sank in. Clark County District Court Judge Tierra Jones informed KEEFE D that prosecutors are not seeking the death penalty, but if found guilty, he could face life in prison. The arrest of KEEFE D has opened up a Pandora's box of questions. Who else was involved in the murder of Tupac Shakur? What were the motives motives behind the crime, and will justice finally be served? After his arrest, on July 2023, authorities executed a raid on the home of Dwayne Keith Davis's wife, sending shockwaves through the community and shedding new light on the case. Clark County Judge Jacqueline M. Bluth authorized a warrant for Las Vegas detective Clifford Mogg to search the premises for any evidence that could tie Davis to the Southside Crips, the notorious criminal gang. The raid was a meticulously planned operation aimed at uncovering the truth behind Tupac's murder. During the search, law enforcement seized a range of items that could potentially be crucial to the case. Among the items collected were .40 caliber cartridges, a type of ammunition that matched the weapon used in the shooting. These cartridges could provide a vital link between KEEFE D and the murder weapon. Computers were also confiscated, potentially containing digital evidence that could shed light on the events leading up to Tupac's death. Photographs from the 1990s were discovered, offering a glimpse into the past and potentially providing valuable context to the crime. Perhaps one of the most intriguing discoveries was an issue of Vibe magazine featuring Tupac on the cover. This find raises questions about the connection between KEEFE D and the rap star, and whether there were any underlying motives for the crime. Research also yielded miscellaneous thumb drives and external hard drives, which could contain hidden information that may prove crucial to the case. These digital devices could hold a treasure trove of evidence, potentially revealing the identities of other individuals involved in the murder. Lastly, investigators discovered a copy of Davis's book, Compton Street Legend. This book, written by KEEFE D himself, could contain valuable information about his past, his involvement in criminal activities, and potentially shed light on his connection to the Southside Crips. The raid on Davis's wife's home was a significant development in the investigation, unearthing a wealth of potential evidence that could help bring justice to Tupac Shakur. For years, the case has remained unsolved, shrouded in mystery and speculation due to numerous challenges. However, according to law enforcement and other credible sources, we know that on September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight attended the Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The atmosphere was electric, with fans and industry insiders eagerly anticipating the event. Little did they know that this night would end in tragedy. After the fight, Tupac and Suge Knight left the MGM Grand in a black BMW, accompanied by a small entourage. As they approached a red light at the intersection of Flamingo Road and Koval Lane, a white Cadillac pulled up alongside them. Inside the Cadillac were 4 men, their identities still shrouded in mystery. Without warning, the occupants of the Cadillac opened fire on Tupac and Suge Knight's vehicle. Bullets rained down on them, piercing the night air and shattering the illusion of safety. Tupac was struck multiple times, sustaining critical injuries. Suge Knight, miraculously, managed to escape with only minor injuries. In the chaos that ensued, the white Cadillac sped away, leaving Tupac fighting for his life. He was rushed to the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. Despite the best efforts of medical professionals, Tupac's injuries proved to be too severe. 6 days later, on September 13, 1996, he tragically passed away at the age of 25. The theories surrounding Tupac's murder quickly multiplied, with one of the most prominent being the alleged involvement of his East Coast rivals, particularly Biggie Smalls. The long-standing feud between Tupac and Biggie, fueled by their diss tracks and public accusations, created a narrative that suggested Biggie may have played a role in the shooting. However, no concrete evidence was ever presented to support this theory. As the investigations into Tupac's murder continued, law enforcement faced numerous challenges. The lack of cooperation from witnesses, combined with the complex web of rivalries and allegiances within the music industry, made it difficult to uncover the truth. Despite the efforts of dedicated detectives and the passage of time, the case remained unsolved. The murder of Tupac Shakur has been shrouded in mystery and speculation for nearly 3 decades. Numerous theories and suspects have emerged, each offering a different perspective on the events that unfolded on that fateful night in Las Vegas. One of the prevailing theories suggests that Tupac's murder was a result of the bitter feud between the East Coast and West Coast rap scenes. The rivalry between Tupac and his East Coast counterparts, particularly the notorious Biggie Smalls, had reached a boiling point. The diss tracks and public accusations exchanged between the two artists fueled speculation that Biggie may have played a role in Tupac's death. However, no concrete evidence has ever been presented to support this theory. Another theory revolves around the involvement of gangs in Tupac's murder. It is well known that Tupac had affiliations with the Bloods, a notorious street gang. Some believe that rival gang members targeted Tupac as a result of these associations. The alleged rivalry between the Bloods and the Crips, another prominent gang, adds fuel to this theory. However, like the East Coast-West Coast rivalry theory, concrete evidence linking gang involvement to Tupac's murder has yet to be uncovered. Tupac's association with Death Row Records, headed by Marion Suge Knight, has also given rise to theories of internal conflict within the record label. Some speculate that tensions between Tupac and other members of Death Row Records may have played a role in his murder. The complex dynamics within the music industry, combined with the lure of power and money, create a plausible backdrop for such a theory. However, without substantial evidence, it remains speculative. The recent search warrant issued at Dwayne "KEEFE" D. Davis's house has brought him into the spotlight as a potential suspect in Tupac's murder. The recent breakthrough in this intriguing case is all thanks to none other than KEEFE D. himself, who has not been able to shut up since his deal with the police almost 14 years ago. You see, in 2009, a retired LAPD detective named Greg Kading decided to reopen the investigations, determined to bring justice to the victims and their families. Kading's first breakthrough came when he discovered a potential link between the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. He believed that solving one case could potentially shed light on the other. With this newfound focus, Kading embarked on a relentless pursuit of the truth. During his investigation, Kading came across the name KEEFE D, a figure believed to have crucial information about the incidents. KEEFE D, also known as Dwayne Keith Davis, was a former associate of Death Row Records, the label Tupac was signed to at the time of his death. Kading believed that KEEFE D held the key to unlocking the mysteries surrounding both murders. KEEFE D's involvement in drug trafficking between 2006 and 2008 made him a person of interest to law enforcement. Recognizing this vulnerability, Kading saw an opportunity to leverage KEEFE D's criminal activities to pressure him into cooperating with the investigation. He knew that KEEFE D's knowledge could potentially provide the missing pieces of the puzzle. With this in mind, Kading approached KEEFE D, seeking his cooperation in exchange for leniency in his own legal troubles. KEEFE D, battling cancer and fearing imprisonment, found himself at a crossroads. He had a choice to make: to remain silent and face the consequences, or to come forward and reveal what he knew. In a not-so-shocking decision, he agreed to cooperate with Kading and confess to everything he knew about the murder of Tupac Shakur. During the interrogation, KEEFE D confessed to being involved in Tupac Shakur's murder in 1996. The gangster told police about his nephew, Orlando Anderson, whom he claimed was Tupac's shooter. In a recording of the LAPD interview, KEEFE D was heard telling police Anderson leaned over and rolled down the window and popped him. However, KEEFE D's understanding of the agreement was flawed. In reality, he only had a proffer agreement, which protected him from prosecution based on his confession during that specific moment. You see, a proffer agreement is a form of cooperation between a defendant and the government, wherein the defendant agrees to provide self-incriminating information. These meetings typically occur not in court, but at the local U.S. Attorney's office. During these sessions, the defendant, accompanied by legal counsel, is interrogated by federal prosecutors on behalf of the government. The objective of such an agreement is to compel the defendant to divulge information, whether written, spoken, or digital, that could aid the government's case. The defendant is obligated to be truthful and comprehensive, disclosing all pertinent knowledge related to the crime in question. Under the terms of the agreement, the statements made by the defendant in the proffer session are generally inadmissible against them in court. However, should subsequent evidence reveal inconsistencies with the proffered information, or if additional details emerge from third-party sources that contradict the defendant's statements, the proffer can be used against them. Should the defendant violate the terms of the agreement, the government reserves the right to present the proffered information during sentencing. Therefore, a proffer agreement does not guarantee the defendant complete immunity. A proffer agreement is a form of cooperation between a defendant and the government, wherein the defendant agrees to provide self-incriminating information. These meetings typically occur not in court, but at the local U.S. Attorney's office. During these sessions, the defendant, accompanied by legal counsel, is interrogated by federal prosecutors on behalf of the government. The objective of such an agreement is to compel the defendant to divulge information, whether written, spoken, or digital, that could aid the government's case. The defendant is obligated to be truthful and comprehensive, disclosing all pertinent knowledge related to the crime in question. Under the terms of the agreement, the statements made by the defendant in the proffer session are generally inadmissible against them in court. However, should subsequent evidence reveal inconsistencies with the proffered information, or if additional details emerge from third-party sources that contradict the defendant's statements, the proffer can be used against them. Should the defendant violate the terms of the agreement, the government reserves the right to present the proffered information during sentencing. Therefore, a proffer agreement does not guarantee the defendant complete immunity. This misunderstanding would prove to be a critical mistake that would come back to haunt him. Confessions and key witnesses. As we now know, KEEFE D did didn't stop at his confession. In the years that followed, he continued to reveal more information about the murder in a book and various interviews. Unbeknownst to him, his words would become the very evidence that would lead to his own arrest. During a BET series, Death Row Chronicles, that aired 2018, KEEFE D made his first public comments about the shooting, reigniting the flames of curiosity and reopening the case. The airing of the Death Row Chronicles sparked a renewed interest in the case, prompting the Las Vegas police to review the evidence and confirm that the investigation remained open. KEEFE D public comments had breathed new life into a case that had long gone cold, and the search for justice was reignited. Also, in his memoir and subsequent interviews, KEEFE D provided a detailed account of the moments that preceded that fateful night. He described a meeting at Greenblatt's Deli, where he claimed to have met with Sean Diddy Combs, a prominent figure in the music industry. According to KEEFE D, it was during this meeting that Diddy allegedly requested the hit on Tupac and Suge Knight. KEEFE D went on to describe the moments leading up to the shooting itself. He claimed that he and his accomplices spotted Tupac and Suge Knight in a BMW, and a decision was made to follow them. The tension in the car must have been palpable as they trailed their targets, knowing that their lives were about to change forever. According to KEEFE D, it was Orlando "Baby Lane" Anderson, his nephew, who ultimately pulled the trigger that night. KEEFE D positioned himself as the shot caller, the one who orchestrated the plan and gave the orders. The weight of his words hung heavy in the air as he described the moment that forever altered the course of music history. However, as with any story, there were those who questioned the credibility of KEEFE D claims. Some accused him of seeking attention or attempting to profit from the tragedy. KEEFE D claims about a role of Tupac's diss track "Hit 'Em Up" in the shooting also raised eyebrows. He alleged that the song had angered the Southside Crips and played a significant role in their decision to target Tupac. However, critics argued that this explanation seemed too simplistic, given the complex web of rivalries and feuds within the music industry. The police, armed with KEEFE D's own admissions, refocused their attention on him. They meticulously gathered evidence from his interviews and book, building a case against him. The shocking revelations made by KEEFE D became the very ammunition that would be used against him in court. KEEFE D is known as the last living suspect in the 1996 drive-by shooting of Tupac Shakur, as he is the only key witness and suspect that was present at the shooting who is still alive. On the 29th of May 1998, Orlando Anderson, a key witness and the man that has been revealed to pull the trigger that killed Tupac, was killed. Anderson had informed his friends that he intended to go to the store around 2 p.m. This came after the news that his grandmother had passed away due to natural causes. Shortly thereafter, he departed from his residence in Compton, accompanied by friends, according to sources. At approximately 3:10 p.m., Orlando Anderson and an associate drove to a car wash at the corner of Alondra Boulevard and Oleander Avenue. This location was where members of a rival gang were known to congregate, according to police reports. An altercation ensued between the two parties. Compton Police Lieutenant Robert Baker stated, "Both sides began shooting. The exchange of gunfire resulted in 4 men, all identified as gang members, being injured and left on the pavement. The injured were transported to Martin Luther King Jr./Drew Medical Center in Willowbrook. There, Anderson, age 23, and another man were declared deceased shortly after their arrival. A third individual was in critical condition, while the fourth, Michael Reed Doro, age 24, received treatment for minor injuries before being arrested by Compton police on suspicion of murder. The investigation suggested that the confrontation was likely rooted in a financial dispute. The shooting took place near Compton High School, but no students or staff were involved, despite classes being in session. Although at the time, the Las Vegas Police Department had not found direct evidence linking Anderson to the death of Tupac Shakur, Los Angeles police still considered him a suspect in the unsolved case as of Tupac. Similarly, another key witness that was present in the shooting, Yafo Fula, was also tragically killed. Yafo Fula was a gifted 19-year-old member of Shakur's backup group, the Outlaws Immortals, was also known as Yaki Gaddafi. He was not only a close associate of Tupac, but was emerging as a star in his own right. Fula's contributions were evident on Shakur's iconic album, All Eyes on Me, where they stood together, united in their artistic ambitions. Detectives had briefly interviewed Fula after the shooting, recognizing the crucial role he could play in uncovering the truth behind Tupac's murder. There were plans to bring him back to Las Vegas for a more detailed interview. However, fate intervened in a tragic manner. Yafo Fula's life was abruptly ended in a shocking incident. Homicide Sergeant Kevin Manning disclosed that the Metro Police had been working relentlessly to solve Fula's murder. Orange Police Captain Richard Conti highlighted that at that point, they did not believe Fula's murder was connected to the killing of Tupac Shakur. The investigation was ongoing, with all possible leads being explored. Detectives had been coordinating with Fula's attorney to schedule a second interview in Las Vegas, hoping to gather crucial information about Tupac's murder. With Fula's untimely death, any insights he might have had were lost forever. The detectives had hoped that Fula's second interview would bring to light the identity identity of Tupac's assailants. However, KEEFE D's recent arrest may put an end to the darkness that has gripped this case for so long and shed light on the true events that led up to Tupac's murder and bring justice to everyone responsible for the death of the rap legend. Now, KEEFE D finds himself facing the consequences of his actions. He has been charged with 1 count of open murder with a deadly weapon and gang enhancement. Additionally, he is facing charges related to orchestrating other crimes. The fact that there is no statute of limitations for murder in the United States means that KEEFE D can be convicted even after 27 years. Although, despite this arrest, many questions still remain unanswered. The investigation into the murder of Tupac Shakur is far from over. The arrest of KEEFE D made just one piece of the puzzle, and there could still be many individuals and factors that need to be explored. Or could this be the end of the 3-decade-long case? We will have to find out. If you enjoy this video and would like to see more interesting videos like this, click on one of the cards on your screen.